Welcome back to Never Famous, home of the purple pill. Please make sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Aury. He is Roo. Today we got a fan question, so we're gonna get right into it. Please make sure to send all your fan questions in the link in the description. So the person said, "Hey, so I need some help. My boyfriend is very insecure, and I'm not sure what to do. I really love him, but I also enjoy traveling and going out with my friends, both male and female. And he doesn't like any of that. I believe in a healthy balance of both, but I don't want to jeopardize this relationship. I also don't want to feel control. What should I do?"
I'm guessing it's a girl, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, so that's interesting. So, like, there's a couple words that when I hear it from a woman, uh, it makes my ears perk up because I think it's an easy cop out when they say, "Oh, you're just being insecure." And and I get it. There may be some insecure men out there,
A
but
lot.
I think 90% of the time, I don't know if it's insecurity or if there's a reasoning behind why he may be concerned about you doing these types of things.
Yeah. So I never been called insecure to my face, but she said both male and female. So I've dated women where sometimes they don't see that their male friend actually likes them. So
Mhm.
then when I start to see them start dating them or whatever, and I'm like, yo, like I know you introduced me like to like that's your friend, but like he likes you. She's like, no, 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 we just friends. I'm like, no, like I can tell he likes you, and eventually at some point it'll come out. So
Hmm.
sometimes it could be stuff like that too, that women be like, don't see it. That dudes just should be trying to be around y'all sometimes just because they like y'all, but y'all friends on them.
Do you have any idea? Because there's not enough context as to like how long they've been in a relationship with,
No.
how long they've been together. So if we want to make up a scenario that may be helpful, because I think it's a very different scenario if you are 3 months into a relationship versus 2 years or 3 years into a relationship. Like the advice I would give is very,
Let's
very
say,
different.
well, they said they're in love. Some people are in love at the first date, but let's say 2 years in, just assuming because she said they're in love. So,
So 2 years
and she
in,
doesn't want to lose the
so
relationship.
like you're in a relationship 2 years in, you're pretty serious and maybe living together or potentially thinking of living together at one point in time.
Yeah.
So I view it this way. One, if you are living together, then you kind of enter that phase where a lot of the stuff you're gonna do, uh, I would start looking for people that are in that same kind of a boat. So like if I'm gonna be going out, I would start looking for people that are either in relationships or in a similar scenario. So you can start going out as couples and stuff like that and do things that couples can do together, as opposed to continue to hang out with my single friends, single girlfriends, single boyfriends, whatever the case is in that scenario. Because when you go out with people who are single, even and you're in a serious relationship, the reason why they're going out is very different. Yeah, they're going out to have fun, maybe spend time with you, but the way they will interact with individuals out in the scene, and I don't doesn't matter what the scene is very different than the way somebody who is in a relationship should be interacting. And I don't think it'll be fair to hold your single friends accountable because you're the one in a relationship. I get it every now and then. Like every now and then you may go out with them and so on. But like if there's a group of friends that you constantly go out with multiple times throughout the month and they happen to be single and you're not, their goals from being single is very different than what yours should be being in a relationship.
That's some really good advice. I'm not gonna lie. I wish somebody had told me that when I was in a relationship, because then we both still hanging out with our single friends, and that's true because it's like even I'm not trying to bag nobody. The homies, we outside. They trying to do their thing, so that's good advice, and it's true. But there's another piece to it. She also said she enjoys traveling as well. So I'm like, you can take him with you, and also if he doesn't like to travel or maybe can't afford to travel or that's just not in his plans right now. I mean, he might have other stuff going on. I don't feel like you should also be held back. Like if you can afford these things or you got the time for these things, then you should go. You should be able to travel.
In what way? So like you see, this is some of the stuff that gets a little tricky for me. And then again, I've been in a relationship for more than half of my life now. So it's a little different and I get it. But to me, if you are in a relationship, serious relationship, unless it's for work, uh, why aren't you making travel plans together? Like I get it every now and then you may want to go with friends and so on, but it sounds like a lot of your traveling involves traveling with friends, not with your significant other. Based on that comment, now I'm taking some assumptions based on what you're saying,
But that's why I put in a lot of guys have to work a lot and stuff like that too, or like they get their plans and their goals might be different.
but that's the
So
part. Like if you guys are starting to be in a serious relationship, honestly, one of the two have to get on the other person's program. And that's a reality. Traditionally, for the most part, in the history of mankind, it is usually the woman gets on the men's program. And what does that mean? Like if the man gets a job in another city, cool. Based on that, you guys move and so on. So like you're like if you have to move cities because of his job, that's usually getting on his program. If you do better than him, then maybe he needs to get on your program, and that's part of the discussion you guys need to have. But it's these kinds of conversations that you want to start having together. But I think you can have your cake and eat it too. You need to stop thinking as an individual. You have to start thinking as a unit. And then once you start doing that, it will really influence some of the decision making you do, and it will really influence even the way you go about these kinds of conversations because you will apply it through the filter of as a unit, does it make sense for me to make this choice? As a unit, does it make sense for me to go there? Now, for me, I travel a lot for work. So if I'm traveling for work, even that I'm saying, does it make sense for me to take this gig? Okay, for me, 90% of the time, it'd be like yes, because I know I'm bringing money back to the household. So that's like the reasoning behind it. So it's very different than saying I want to go and travel alone for fun. Like that to me has rarely happened. Uh, like maybe once or twice, and it wasn't even because I planned it to be this way. It was more of like, oh, this happened, and other circumstances might have came to be. And it's like, oh, you had a plane ticket, somebody canceled, so on. The plane ticket's still there. Do you still want to use it for something?
I get
But
what
that
you're
was really
saying,
rare.
but I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I don't feel like if because I'm chasing my personal goals. I'm not gonna stop you from wanting to go on vacation. Like if you're going on vacation with your sisters or your or like your like, because I understand you know certain friends you got some whole friends and some shit like that. If you about to go with all your whole friends, and I was like, come on, like you could chill, like relax. But like there's certain shit that's like, oh, you going to
Then
do
then you
maybe something
just
else that's not in the city, and it's like that's cool. Like you want to see some shit or you want to do
then
some
you
shit.
just
I
brought
don't want to hold you back either. Like do your thing.
then you're not ready to be in a serious relationship, and that's fine. But you need to be aware of that because when somebody tells me, you're not saying I want to hold you back. You're saying you're not my priority. Doing these things are currently taking priority over you. And that can be the case for 90% of the times. It's like, hey, these things to me are more important right now than you.
Uh, well, I just learned some shit today. All right.
Is it true or not?
Nah. Yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, that's what I said. I just learned some shit. Well, I learned two things actually. Um, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that. Like I know that I'm not ready to be in a relationship. This isn't about me. This is a fan question. I know I'm not ready to be in a relationship, but that put it in a different perspective. I'm like, damn, like that just kind of like reaffirmed what I already knew. Um, but yeah, maybe this it might not just be the right time. Maybe like like going back
So
to
it's
the
not
fan
even.
question because if that's when like because if she's feeling control too, she also in a weird place because it's
So
like you
I would say this. If I was in your shoes, now I'm a man. So now this is going to be very different than what you probably do, but maybe you can get some guidance from this in some way. I would ask, what's my priority? Is this relationship at the top of that list in some way? Or is your career at the top of the list and the relationship then the travel? Or does it come your career, travel, friends, and then that relationship? And if that's the case and he happens to fall further down in that priority list, then I think you have your answer. And sometimes it's really scary to acknowledge, hey, like this may not be the person for me, or I don't want to be with them, or like I'm not ready to be in a committed relationship in this way right now. But if it is, no, like I really like what we have going on and I want to put him in the top of my list, then at that point, that can also answer your question and will automatically make you think about how should I approach my conversations with friends next time they're putting me in a situation where I need to keep deciding or saying no or maybe feel bad because I can't go on these trips and so on. Like if they're truly your friends and you let them know, hey, like right now, priority one for me is my relationship, then the career and so on, and I'm really working on that. I don't really like it when you guys keep inviting me into places that you know that right now it's not feasible for us to go as a couple. Then just don't invite me to those things. And if they're truly your friends, they should be able to abide by that and be able to like hold you down in that way. Like only invite you into situations where they know it's cool for you to come as a couple, as opposed to keep inviting you into places where it doesn't sound like he wasn't invited. It didn't sound like he couldn't afford it. It was more like, oh, they invited me to a girls' trip and I want to go to the girls' trip, but he's insecure about me going to the girls' trip. That's the way I interpreted that. So if your friends are putting you in that situation, one, they are probably single, so they don't care. And honestly, I would just encourage you to say, just go to Twitter or go to TikTok and just type in what happens in a girl strip, and you will see the stories of what people and women put out there and they express about what they've done in girl strips. And then put yourself in the shoes of your boyfriend for like 2 seconds and say, shit, how would I feel if this is the reality of what I be reading that be happening in these types of trips? That will probably change your perspective also.
The passport bros shit,
Not even the passport bro shit.
but whatever.
I'm talking girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they want
Yeah.
to see some of the shit that like some of the guys do or whatever, look that shit up too. If you guys have any questions for us, like I said, hit the link in the description. This is Never Famous. Please make sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you. Oh, and if you got some advice for them, let them know in the comment section for sure. Let them know in the comment section whatever advice you guys have for them. Thank you.